Gopala Astrology channel, where the science meets astrology for common man's understanding. Subscribe and stay tuned to this channel for continued astrological updates. Welcome to Gopala Astrology channel. Today it's going to be a video about Puneeth Rajkumar, a famous Kannada film actor who recently passed away on 28th of October 2021 at a very young age of 46 years due to the cardiac arrest. And this has brought a very big shock to the people of Karnataka, I can say people of India, and even people worldwide. And everybody was taken by surprise as what happened to such a young, active boy, and why did he pass away, and what went wrong, and things like that. But in today's video, I would like to focus more on plus points. What made Puneeth Rajkumar really Puneeth Rajkumar? And why did he become so famous? What was so special about his horoscope? And I'm making this video purely from educational point of view for those who want to learn astrology, and that's it. Otherwise, I am a big fan of Puneeth, and what a beautiful actor he was, and an outstanding human being more than anything else. And he comes from Dr. Raj's family, and we have all been the great fans of the Dodda. Anyway, it is extremely a sad situation to see such a demise of an actor, and please take this video for educational purposes only. Let's go to the actual today's video. I will be talking about the outer planet astrology, the modern astrology introduced by Greenstone Lobo, and also a couple of pictures of his actual palmistry lines and things like that. All right, so let's go back to the history. Dr. Rajkumar'S family gave birth to a beautiful young boy called Puneeth Rajkumar. His original name was Lohit, and it happened on 17th of March 1975. Such a young, talented boy started acting in his films at a very, very young age. He was the fifth and the youngest child in the family. He was very pet to his mother. All right, and he acted in beautiful film called Bhagyavanta and things like that. He started his career, and then he even acted as a child artist in a film called Premada Kanike, and starting acting at such a young, tender age, talented Puneeth Kumar made his debut. All right, so if you really calculate as on today, the net worth of this film actor Puneeth officially has been about $25 million. It's about 180 crore rupees of Indian currency. At the age of 46, he passed away, and that's the saddest part of the story. And there's a lot of things to talk about his charity and lot of activities beyond acting. All right, so there is a list of films that we can see here that he has been acting as a main hero from the year 2002 until 2021. He was even signed up to act on a beautiful film called James, and unfortunately it could not be pictured. All right, so married life and dating, and he got married to his wife in 1999, December 1st, Ashwini Revanath. Okay, and he has got two beautiful daughters, Drishti and Vendetta, and she's studying. One of the first daughters, I think, is studying in US. She even came all the way from New York to attend his funeral. All right, so he is also this top second richest Kannada film actor, and money just comes to him. It's nothing about money. It's all about his talent that made him to become a very, very famous personality. He was not just an actor, he was the greatest human being, I can say. All right, he used to really keep himself very fit every day. He used to do exercises in his own home gym and things like that. He loved cycling, he loved car driving. He was on his own. He was the man of action. right? So we could never see Puneeth, an idle person sitting in one place. He always wanted to do something or the other. So what is it all about his horoscope? If you Google his horoscope, Puneeth Rajkumar horoscope, you'll get a traditional Vedic chart, which looks something like this. But actually, they have taken here as 12 noon, as a very general timing, just in order to assess the moon sign of him, which is Mesha Rashi or the Aries zodiac sign. Actually, I got the most reliable source who gave me the time of birth of Puneeth Rajkumar really as 1705. That means 5:05 p.m. in the evening on the 17th of March 1975. So I used this data and then I plotted his horoscope, and it comes something like this. Okay, I'm going to give you more and more inputs about the dashas and antaradashas at the time of his death in a short while. But let's analyze the positive points of Puneeth Rajkumar. So how do we understand this? If you put this in the Lobo's horoscope chart, which is something like this, it talks a lot of positive points. Okay, so just before coming to this chart, I would like to introduce you all one more time about Mr. Greenstone Lobo's research work about modern astrology. So what is this modern astrology? It's exactly same as our sidereal Indian Vedic astrology, with an extension of three more planets, the Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, and three more bodies, the centaurs called Planet X, Planet Y, and Planet Z, which was introduced by Mr. Greenstone Lobo. So if you see this, the 12 zodiac signs are there, and for each zodiac sign we have the owner, and then we have the exaltation points. So which is not there in actual classical astrology. In classical astrology, we consider Aries and Scorpio being ruled by Mars, whereas here in Lobo's astrological concept, we consider only Aries as ruled by Mars, and then Pluto rules Scorpio. And same goes with this Planet X. There is something called Planet X, which is actually Kubera in traditional Indian mythology. That is the one which rules Taurus, and then Venus only rules Libra. And Gemini is being ruled by Mercury and not Virgo. Okay, Virgo is actually ruled by Planet Y, which is known as Vishwakarma. All right, and planet Chiron, or the centaur Chiron, is ruling Cancer and not Moon. Okay, and Leo is actually ruled by planet Z, which is known as Manmatha in Indian mythology. All right, that's what we are going to talk about Puneeth Rajkumar's horoscope, and then it makes a lot of sense for us. So let's go back to 1975. He was born at 1705. That means 5:05 p.m. in Chennai. That is Madras. It was called Madras by then. Okay, so that gives us the Lagna of Simha Lagna, or the ascendant of Leo. So Leo ascendant people are like lions. They are the ones who show their presence everywhere. They are the kings, right? Puneeth Rajkumar was a king. I can say he easily, nobody can beat him. He was the number one actor, and he was number one in whatever activities he was doing. And that is all explained by Leo. And according to Lobo's horoscope charts, Leo is ruled by planet Z. Planet Z is nothing but Manmatha. And that's the reason why he got name and fame. Manmatha is the one who gives the name and fame in our horoscope charts. And being the lord of the first house, stationed in the first house Lagna itself, that makes Puneeth Rajkumar the most famous boy in the world, I can say. One of the most famous boys. It is not just one or two aspects of either Venus or Jupiter, but it is actually the planet Z which has made him very, very famous personality. There is an aura, the special effect that whenever Puneeth Rajkumar walks in to any meeting or into any group activity, he brings a big light of aura around him, and that's planet Z which has made him famous. All right, look at his planet X. Planet X is actually Kubera. So he earned such a huge amount of money in a short span of time. He was just 46. And the Lord of 10th house, Kubera, Karmadipati, his Karmasthanadipati Kubera, comes and sits in the 12th house of Vyayasthanam. That means he's going to spend all his money in a way. I'm saying a big chunk of money for charity. 12th house is all about giving dhanam, right? He gives a lot of charity to the people, whoever he felt they are needy. He went on to support them. Even his own brother didn't know what he was doing, and it all came out only after he passed away. And what a noble soul Puneeth was, and everybody remembers him for his openness and friendly approach. He treated everybody as same. And this is the planet X, which is green, which is exalted for him, is in the zodiac sign of Cancer. Cancer is all about emotions. So he was a very emotional human being who always liked to see everybody grow equally and everybody gets equal opportunity. And that's the explanation from planet X being placed in 12th house of Cancer, and it's an exaltation sign for planet X as well. And look at planet Y, the Vishwakarma. So that is the Lord of Virgo, the Lord of voice, second house of family. What a great thing he did to his family. Whatever the legendary actor Dr. Rajkumar brought to his family, he continued from there. The second house is all about family, and the family lord goes and sits in the 11th house of extremely high gains. That means he brought high name and fame and gains to his father's family, and that's outstanding performance, and everybody loves him for that. All right, so look at the planet Pluto, what is being placed here. So before I introduce Pluto here, let's understand three important terms. In Hindu mythology, we call the Brahma as the creator, the Vishnu as the maintainer, and the Mahesh or the Ishvara as the constructive destroyer. So here, the planet Uranus is nothing but Brahma, Neptune is Vishnu, and Pluto is Mahesh. So please understand how these three planets are faring in Puneeth's horoscope. Okay, let's first look into in the reverse order. Planet Pluto is the Lord of fourth house. Okay, fourth house is about our heart, the thoracic cavity. Okay, and also the motherland. Okay, and the mother herself. So he was the most favorite of all the kids to the mother Parvatama, and he sits in the fourth lord sits in the second house of family. So the Pluto is black here. The black color Pluto, what is representing here is neither it is bad, neither it is good. So it's a neutral planet. So he did everything for his family, and nobody knew how much help he was doing outside to the fourth house. Fourth house also represents the motherland. Apart from mother, fourth house represents motherland. He has helped many people of the motherland. He thought people of the motherland as his own family, right? So fourth lord comes in the second house. That is the meaning of it. He treated everyone as the family, and that's very, very rare. It's a very big heart that he had with everyone. He loved everyone, right? He had no enemies. Puneeth Rajkumar had not even one single enemy in his lifetime. That's what I can say. And a beautiful Pluto sits in the second house. All right. And then the Uranus goes to the third house. That is the seventh lord. Uranus sits in the third house, makes him very courageous and makes always him to think newly. Okay, it's a red Uranus here. It's a debilitated Uranus. That must have even made him not study academically well, okay, but still he's an extremely innovative kind of a personality. So he brings in a lot of new things in his work. Third house is all about hands, his work, his dance, and whatever things that he introduced. The third house is all about Kale, art, and that's what is given by Uranus, and that's the Uranus is Brahma. He was the creator of new things. He himself told that he did not go to any dance school, but he learned everything on his own, and he put it in a very, very new way to the world. All right. So that is the Uranus for you. And Neptune happens to be a little bit unfortunate in the horoscope of Puneeth Rajkumar. The reason is, if you see the Lagna as Leo and his eighth house is all about Neptune's area. So Pisces is actually ruled by Neptune, and it goes and sits in the fourth house of heart, right? Fourth house of heart, and it's a red Neptune for him. So this is what is really unfortunate in his horoscope. Otherwise, other things are extremely good. Look at his Mars. The Mars happens to be extremely powerful and sitting in the exaltation position of Capricorn. So in Makara Rashi, Mars or Kuja gets exalted. This is what made him a very active person. He was exercising. He kept himself very healthy and fit. The reason is the sixth house is all about competition, enemies, and everyone. So Mars is going to fit very well in the sixth house. It gives him courage to move forward and try and experiment new things. All right. So, and more than anything else, Mars is nothing but his ninth lord. Mars, ninth house represents father, and look at who is there in the father's place. It is Venus, and then lord of that house, Mars, happens to become exalted. So he has the best father in the world. He made him as a role model, I can say that. And he also has moon there in the ninth house of Bhagyasthanam. So the mother, so both father and mother played a very, very vital role in building the career mentality of Puneeth Rajkumar. That's an outstanding thing that we can see in this chart, all right? And let us look at the seventh house of spouse. So what is happening here? He has a beautiful and a very intelligent girl. Mercury represents intelligence. So seventh house is all about marriage. He got married to a very intelligent girl, and Ashwini has been a very good partner for him, and she has done outstanding jobs along with her husband, right? So he got the best wife in for all his activities. He got very good support from her, right? Perhaps she will continue to do this even beyond his death. All right, that is what is seen with a beautiful Mercury here. And seventh house represents masses, so all the people. So he had a lot of intelligent people around him. So whatever ideas he used to bring out, people used to follow his advice and put it into practice. And that's why seventh house Mercury is extremely, extremely good in the horoscope. And look at the position of Ketu and Rahu here. So fourth house Rahu and then 10th house Ketu. So Ketu in the 10th house also make him like a sannyasi. So he's a man who gives up things for everyone. So he treats everyone as equal, and he has no swartha. There is no selfishness in this man's activity. 10th house is all about the action that we do, right? So activity, karma. So the Ketu being seated in the 10th house is really showing that all the activities that it is called Niswartha Seva. So whatever he has done, the charity works and helping the students studying in the school, and he's funding them and all that is done really because you see a beautiful planet Ketu there, sitting there, and then it shows the selfless service of Puneeth. All right, and look at the 11th house. Saturn goes to the 11th house of Labastham. That's why he had all the cars, he had all the richness. Whether he wanted, he made all the directors and film producers to be extremely successful. So whichever film he acted only for 29 movies, which I listed just now, and in all those movies he has given money to the directors and producers of that movie, right? So that is what Labasthanam. So he has beautiful Lakshmi Yoga with the second lord, planet Y, sitting in the 11th house, and also the sixth lord sitting in the 11th house. So he is a man of fame and name and also money. So it came to him as it is. All that his self-effort, money is there, is seen in the form of Lord Saturn sitting in the 11th house. All right. So this, I think, is one of the best horoscopes that I have seen. Extremely good positions of X, Y, and Z. All these three beautiful centaurs are green and exalted, and an exalted Mars. So this should be one of the best horoscopes. All right. So let us see the last part of the video that something unfortunate happened on the October 29th, and really what was going on for me. So if you see from the classical astrology point of view, and Vimshotri Dasha of Jupiter was running. Jupiter happens to be his eighth lord as well, according to classical astrology, right? So Jupiter Mahadasha was running, and the planet placed in the eighth house of death was ruling, and unfortunately, this also was the Antardasha lord. So anything between 27th April 2020 and 16 June 2022, this time frame must have been a very delicate period for him, actually speaking. Okay, so the same is evident in the form of palmistry lines as well. If you carefully observe these three pictures of with Rajkumar's hand, you can understand that he had a beautiful lifeline. Look at his lifeline. It is so flawless and it is so clear. It is supposed to be long and deep and perfect in its all sense. But unfortunately, the lifeline is branching off around the age of 45, 46. The 3/4 of the age is past, and then there is a branch which is branching out to the inside part of Venus. If it were to branch out and send a branch to the mount of moon somewhere here, it would have been broad settlements and things like that. But unfortunately, we see this particular branch going very much into the mount of Venus. So whenever this type of split of the lifeline happens, there will be some kind of a very sensitive kind of a situation that happens in one's life. If they are lucky enough at that point of time, right doctor, right treatment, something would have triggered. They could have been saved, but it's beyond our reach now. It has happened, and you can see very clearly a kind of branch that is developing, and it's also forming a kind of a loop here after that particular period of time. So this is evident that something important is going to happen in terms of his health at the age of 45, 46. Okay, I am putting this picture again. Why? Because this represents the human body and the 12 zodiac signs. Look at the important aspect is the first house of Aries is our head. Okay, the Taurus represents the throat region, the Gemini represents the third house of shoulder and palm. And now for each horoscope, the fourth house of heart or the thoracic cavity is very, very important. So look at the fourth house of his chart here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth house has Neptune, which is the eighth lord. So the real problem that must have happened is the presence of eighth lord Neptune in deep debilitation in the fourth house of thoracic cavity, and this could have even triggered the cardiac arrest. And that's what is my interpretation of his horoscope. But otherwise he was is extremely great soul, and it's a big loss for every one of us. And it is very, very rare that this type of a soul is born once in a millennium, probably, and it's very difficult to get such a person again. And we will all pray for his soul to rest in peace, and we are very sure that the God will give strength to the family to face this situation, and also the people of India. Thank you very much.